All right, I want to talk real quickly about a big hand that lost me most of my chips in this Mad River tournament. And it kind of talks a little bit about node locking. Last hand here, I had King Queen of Spades, under the gun raised, middle position called. Turns around, comes back to me. I had King Queen suited. I 3-bet this hand out of position. Little questionable whether or not I should 3-bet, but I did. Slow down. Stop. Hold on. So anyway, I 3-bet this hand. Under the gun called, middle position folded, and flop comes ace 3. Now, I would not have bet at this had I realized there was two clubs instead of two spades. For some reason, I was thinking it was ace 7 of spades. And so, oops. So I bet a little under half pot, and the gun guy called me. He just showed up to the. He had a ton of chips, by the way. So he could afford to lose these chips. And for me, on the turn here, I have like about a pot size bet left. And I pick up the spades. If I was deeper, I would have double barreled, obviously. But if he's got an ace, he's not folding with his deep stack. And, you know, I'm just going in on a flush draw. So I checked. He jammed all in. And unfortunately, lost me 80,000 of my 230,000 chip stack. And one of the big questions I had looking at this was, should I really be c-betting this flop? I know it's a good board for me being the initial 3-better, but a little bit, Hungry Horse Poker has been talking a little bit about, being out of position in 3-bet pots to people and how you should be playing these. And basically, if you turn around and look here, you'll see I put everything in Pile Solver. 60% of the time you should be betting, most of the time with a small sizing, and then not as much checking. But that assumes that if we check, that there's going to be a lot of betting. There's some hands like 8s, 7s, 9s. Again, the flop is ace 7 3. Yes, he's going to be betting with his aces some of the times, but he's be checking back a lot of them a lot of the times. Now, the fact of the matter is he really checking an ace? Is he really checking ace queen at all? Is he really checking, I don't know if he's really checking these hands. Of course, this is his range because he would have 4-bet, I believe, these upper hands here. But if we turn around, I just do a quick couple changes here. Again, we have me checking. This is betting a fair amount of hands. There we go. Back this up a minute. It has me betting, all these hands, all these suited connectors, all these different hands. It has me basically betting 1/3 a lot. And do I really want to be doing that? I end up king queen suited. Says I should be checking most of the time, but other hands I'm supposed to be betting. So it says betting, like I said, 60% of the time. But if I check, what is this guy doing? If I turn around and do a quick node lock here, and I say, this guy, the top pair, if I check to him, is he checking half the time? No. I'd say he's mostly betting. He might be checking some of the time with his weaker aces, but I'd say he's mostly betting. And being there's a flush draw on the board, we'll say something along those lines, right? He's mostly betting those boards. If he has a hand like a flush draw, that's probably about right. He's probably betting smaller. Maybe, I don't know, something along those lines. Uh, is he checking? Could be checking. I'm checking a little less. Something along those lines. So if I just make those two minor adjustments, which is saying that, most of the time when he's got top pair, he's going to be betting more often, and that with flush draws, um, maybe he bets a little more often. Um, but I think he's definitely probably betting top pair on a flush draw board. Maybe. I turn around and say this, save and close. Right. I go back over here and I say go. And I rerun this. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, come back over here and start this over again. If I turn around and check, well, number one, should I better check? Before it was saying bet 60% of the time. Now it's saying bet only 44% of the time and to check more often. So because he's going to be betting more, which is probably what most people are doing with an ace on a club flush draw board, I should be checking more. So I just turn around and I check more often. And you can see that the amount changed from like 30% to 54%. More often I should be checking. So that was just one quick thing. Another thing I wanted to look at real quick here was I wanted to do here real quick is the under the gun. He raised pre-flop. I put in the range, pasted in the range that I gave him. And here, and this is HRC. And it comes around to me as far as what I should be three betting, giving his opening range. And really, I should be only three betting monster strong hands. As far as three betting. So, yeah, really saying aces and ace king suited. That's it. And I will point out, I did put in here ICM calculations, which affects things. Um, I'll pull out ICM to show the difference, but I put in that you could do ICM in this HRC, which takes into account tournament structure. I put in there was 25 people left and 17 got paid. Go on to day two. Uh, and I put me down as 50 big blinds and the villain is 150 bigs. And given those specific call outs, I'm only supposed to be three betting monsters. Now, let me real quick here see if it makes a difference if I pull out ICM. It does have a couple bluffs down here. I wouldn't do those. Not sure why it even shows that. This, by the way, is when you start something new. This is where you put in ICM and you can put in multiple tables, multi-table, etc. I had other tables. Like I said, 25 people left, 17 get paid. Um, I just wanted to see how it changes things. Now, if I get rid of the ICM and I just go chip EV, not taking into account that, go ahead and run this. Run in background. I'm going to turn around and give this guy's under the gun range, which that's not bad as is, but I'm going to turn around and put in the range that I had him on. So that locks him to this range. And I'm going to turn around and say run. It's selected subtree because I don't need to run the whole thing. Run in background. If we come down to the small blind, three betting range, now we'll see it's quite a bit wider. Um, the thing that really surprised me looking at GTO is King Queen suited isn't a 3-bet. You know, it's still aces, ace king, ace king, ace queen, suited, queens. But King Queen suited, which is normally in position a hand that would 3-bet, out of position, it does not like a hand, this hand to 3-bet with these stack sizes. And I played around a little bit with some different solvers, and it was the same kind of thing where King Queen suited a lot of times against like a late position open is a 3-betting hand, but against an under the gun range and you're out of position for the rest of the hand, kind of both for both of those reasons, this really isn't a 3-betting hand. If it's a late position, wider configuration, you have to take my word for it. I played around with the solvers on this hand because I was thinking about it quite a bit and whether or not this was a 3-bet. A late position open, you're on the button. Yes, this is a definite 3-bet. But against a under the gun guy, and you do want to 3-bet more, sometimes out of position with bigger sizing, etc. But this is just simply isn't a 3-bet against an under the gun guy. And again, you're going to be out of position. So what happens if you don't hit the flop? You're going to probably check. It's just isn't a hand you want to 3-bet an under the gun raiser from in the small blind. So aces, ace king, of course, are. Queens are. Jacks are. Jack 64% of the time, looks like. And 10's only 22% of the time. So this is basically what your 3-betting range should look like. And it makes sense. And this is not taking into account close to the money. When you're close to the money, like I said, when I reran this with only 10 away from the money and I had 50 bigs, you see it went from this normal 3-betting range to aces and ace king suited. And that was it. So, just got to keep in mind, basically, when it comes to ICM and you're getting close to the money, you really want to tighten things up. Okay, that was kind of an interesting hand where I lost a bunch of chips and wanted to cover that real quick. That's it. I'm not going to show anything more. I'm just going to say, if you like this stuff, please click subscribe and check me out. I'm going to be going to Austin, Texas this week. So check me out on there. I might be reviewing some hands, probably going through and talking about some hands, showing you guys the rooms down there. I'm going to spend some time at the lodge. We'll see what other hands and what places I check out. But yeah, so that's it. So hope you enjoyed this. Talk to y'all later.